Welcome back, everybody, and thanks again for being here on KXAN News at 4. I know the rain outside is one thing. We'll get to that in just a moment. But something else I've been noticing is that every time I've been driving into work, downtown has just been kind of behind a hazy effect there. What's going on with that?
So it's the Saharan dust that's been coming in. That's not only been giving us the hazy conditions, but also some beautiful sunrises and sunsets. In fact, let's take a look at our Saharan dust and the amount that's going to be flowing in over the next couple of days. You can even see anything that you see within the darker yellow. That's where we get the most amount of dust. So our friends over in Houston obviously getting a lot more than we are, but we're still getting a decent amount, and that continues pretty much throughout the next couple of days. We get out towards Sunday into Monday. Things calm down by the time we get to Monday into Tuesday, but you may be wondering, well, what is Saharan dust? Where does it come from and what does it do? Well, the dust obviously comes from the Saharan desert. It's actually picked up by the winds and carried through the tropics over the Atlantic. So we normally have to watch what happens out there, because that will affect what we see over the course of the Atlantic hurricane season. Now I'll get to that in just a moment, but you can see essentially how it follows the trade winds right over and affects us. Now we obviously get a lot of sunlight that comes in across the ocean, and that warms up the ocean itself. And remember, we need temperatures at 80 degrees or above in order to get some nice tropical development out there. So as we get the sun's rays come in, the water starts to heat up, it begins to evaporate, storms start to form, and that's where we see hurricanes or tropical developments start to come in. But then here comes the dust. The Saharan dust starts to move in. It starts to reflect a lot of the light. It cools down some of the water, so we don't get to see the water temperatures as warm. So that's the first thing that stops it. But if we're already abnormally warm as far as water, the thing is that the Saharan dust is just nothing but dry air. So that also cuts off any supply for any storms to actually develop. And so as we look over it, it's just a mass of dry, dusty air that comes in. And usually the peak is around late June to mid-August, but we tend to get it sometimes in early June as well. And we get plumes of it every 3 to 5 days. Obviously, with wind gusts, the plumes start to pick up and they start to come through. And the thickness itself is about 2 to 2.5 miles as far as the layer is. It's about a mile above the surface, but a lot of that dust does sprinkle back down, and it is beneficial for farmers out there who may need to, use some of the nutrients for their crops. So that's the good news. The bad news is obviously anyone that may have any type of allergies, they may be affected just a bit more. It also reduces the air quality and gives us the hazy conditions that Will was just talking about, but it does give us beautiful sunrise and sunsets. And of course, as I mentioned before, it suppresses tropical development. So all really, really interesting stuff to see. Here's something else that's really interesting to see is the rainfall that's coming down across central Texas. In fact, we have a live image right now out of one of the TxDOT cameras to kind of show you where some of that rainfall has been coming through the downtown area. Again, if you're driving, take your time, go slow and leave a little earlier, because you are going to run into some delays, and we obviously don't want you speeding, especially with some of the slick roadways. So let's go ahead and take a look right now at our satellite and radar and what's happening across central Texas. We did have a lot of rainfall moving through the downtown area, but everything's been so scattered. Not everyone has seen rainfall. Even portions of Gillespie County have not seen a lot of rainfall, when that's actually where we saw the most amount all day long. Those in Williamson County barely starting to see some rainfall out towards Pflugerville and portions of Round Rock into Leander, but those out towards Milam County, Lee County have been left out of this. Fayette County saw a little bit of isolated showers, but they've been mostly dry. Travis County got some of it, and they were very happy about it today. In fact, let's zoom in a bit more so we can see the downtown area and where we've been seeing some of that rainfall. As I mentioned, Leander, about to see some of the rainfall going through Anderson Mill, and then obviously as we get closer into the downtown area, looking like just over the Guadalupe, as you can see some of the rainfall is essentially across Mopac, getting some of the rainfall across 183, and then farther up as you get out towards the Arboretum. So no matter where you're at within the downtown area, you saw some of that rainfall. I'll zoom it out a bit more so you can see where most of the rainfall has been coming through, and that's through the border from Mexico, straight through Corpus, and then up towards San Antonio. And you all kind of see essentially how that high pressure system that we have parked out in East Texas has been kind of steering everything, because you can see it almost coming straight up and then whoop, straight out towards the northwest, and that's because that high pressure system is just kind of looping everything back out through San Antonio and through the hill country as well. For the rest of the day, we'll continue to see some isolated pockets of showers here and there, but the heaviest rainfall won't come until tomorrow. Yeah, you heard me. Even though we did have some pretty decent amount of rainfall numbers come in, and I'll show those with you, or share those with you in the next half hour, we continue to see tomorrow a better chance of rainfall. In fact, that continues as we get out from early in the morning towards late in the afternoon, where we could see isolated to scattered to widely scattered showers essentially all day long. Temperatures will obviously take a major hit because of that, especially out towards the hill country, as we mentioned before. Some of those staying in the 80s. Austin, 91, but if we get a decent amount of rainfall like we're seeing today, we may not even reach the 90s. So that's good news, and that's something we definitely can enjoy, especially with the rainfall coming in. Now, if you're making plans for 4th of July, don't worry, though, especially early in the morning when a lot of the parades are going to be happening. You may get a passing shower or two, but I don't expect it to be like what it's like right now. By 9 a.m., we're looking at temperatures at around 80 degrees out there for the 4th of July itself. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 91 for tomorrow, 96 as we get out towards Friday. By Saturday, we're looking at 97 degrees, and by Sunday, 98. As we get farther out into the week, 98 on Monday, 99 on Tuesday, and 99 by Wednesday. Keep it here. We have more coming up after the break.